Hello to everyone on Twitch, and we should be going live on Facebook here momentarily. Just want to make certain that everything's connected properly. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek, keeping you updated as to what's going on with the weather situation in and around the Tennessee River Valley. Coming to you live from News 12 WDEF in downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. Keeping you updated online on Facebook, Twitch, and then also on other social media channels as well. Thanks for joining us for tonight. Keep it tuned for more with News 12 as we go into tonight on News 12 at 11. You can watch on our website at wdef.com. Let me just double check here that we're getting audio portions in here so everybody can hear me. Okay, sounds good. Sometimes, unfortunately, the microphones system on Facebook acts like we're talking into a coffee can, so want to make certain everybody can hear me before we get too far out there. Thanks to everybody on Twitch for joining up. Nice to be able to see all the new followers up there, and thank you very much to everybody for following along on Facebook as well. Coming up, we'll take a look into the near future and show we've got some beautiful weather ahead of us for the next couple of days, but we will be seeing the potential for a little bit less dry weather as we go into the weekend, which is very good news because we could use the rain because the fire danger is increasing. With all this very dry air around, it's comfortable. It feels great out there with no problem at all. But unfortunately, the dry humidity air that's out there is leaching away the moisture from the weeds and the trees and the grass. So we could be looking at the potential for maybe some more wildfires popping up. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. We'll also have more on News 12 at 11 with Kay Blevins in the anchor chair tonight, kind of crisscrossing the anchors for this evening. So stay tuned for more on that. And of course, we'll have more on Chip Chapman's forecast bright and early on Wednesday morning. Kind of a story to tell here on the weather window. Thank you very much, Julie Fisher from Varnell, Georgia. Thank you very much for sending in this absolutely spectacular picture from Wapaka, Wisconsin. Always try to make certain I pronounce the location names correctly. Ms. Fisher was on a family trip where this picture was taken, and apparently 15 minutes after this snapshot was gotten, the family in the car hit a deer. So hopefully everybody is okay, including the deer. But again, thank you very much. I'm sorry you had to go through all that, but that is our very colorful Langley Roofing weather window picture of the day. And again, if you've got pictures, we'd love to see them. More at pictures at wdef.com. Again, please include a location and or a description. If you want to be anonymous, that's fine. We won't use your name. We'll make one up so that nobody knows it's you. You can also drop them to the comments sections. You can also see these pictures. We post them every single night to our social media pages. So if you'd like to see them, they'll be available. Just stop by any of our pages and make certain that you are keeping an eye on what's going on there. Temperatures for today, another beautiful one across the area. Temperatures back in the lower 70s, way above normal for this time of the year, and then back into about the mid 30s or so for low temperatures this morning. 1998, our last time we set a record low of 19, and 1967, the last time we set a record high of 83 degrees. We were about 11 degrees below that. No rainfall to talk of, and we're behind for the month and the year so far by fractions of an inch, but we could definitely use a little bit more rainfall out there to kind of help keep things in perspective. Bus stop forecast, you will not need any rain protection going to or from work or school tomorrow, and looking very much on the mild side, so no problems at all where it comes to outdoor activities. A little bit breezy from time to time, but other than that, doesn't really look like too much of a major concern, and we should stay dry. For outdoor activities, it looks like it's going to be very nice all the way on through. So for tomorrow, maybe a few clouds in the morning, but then clearing off, and then very nice conditions all the way through the rest of the forecast into the rest of this upcoming week. From the News 12 studios on the Patriot Concrete camera, looking up at Lookout Mountain off to the west-southwest, And we did see some pretty nice sunset pictures tonight if it wasn't for all those clouds out there. So we did manage to pick up a little bit. If you got some of those great sunset shots tonight, please send them in to us. We'd love to see them. Clear off to the southwest, Lookout Mountain off in the distance, somewhere in the darkness from the Bailey's Heating and Air camera. A beautiful sunset view earlier tonight. Lookout Mountain off there, somewhere off that direction where the sun was setting earlier for tonight on the Plainview Outdoor Advertising camera. We had our Chattanooga Theater Center camera turned around and looking at McClellan Island, where it came to the Chattanooga Audubon Society, the Chattanooga Parks and Rec, Chattanooga Fire Department was trying to initiate prescribed burns for the McClellan Island area. It's too green. Nothing was able to catch on fire, so the prescribed burn has been postponed to a future date. So we'll have to wait and see just where exactly that is going to be taking us in the semi-near future. And if that does happen, we'll let you know a little bit more about that, so stay tuned. But in the meantime, there is no controlled burn expected anytime soon around the area of McClellan Island in the Tennessee River. So good news on that. From the Chattanooga Zoo Hug a Bunny camera, we were turning it around to the southwest to see the sunset, turning it back around to see the area around Erlanger Hospital, where, again, a few clouds off to the southwest, but otherwise not really seeing too much of a major concern there. The Hug a Bunny event is coming up in the semi-near future, so check out the Chattanooga Zoo website and their social media to find out more about where, when you can attend that event coming up. Exceptionally light traffic on the Tomahawk Crane and Rigging camera. Hardly anything in the way of traffic right now and no construction backups to report, so good news at this time. Around the area, we've got some very mild numbers, 62 dropping from where we were in the 70s a few hours ago, and still seeing very low humidity, which was in the teens at some points in time. Now we're back to about 31%, so very much on the dry side for right now. What we've got into the rest of the forecast for tonight, and so far right before 10 o'clock, some excellent temperatures out there, and doubtful we're going to be seeing too much in the way of major problems with temperatures until next week. That is where we start to see some changes taking place. High pressure off the East Coast, keeping things clear. Kind of a double whammy of systems heading our way from out of the west. One system dropping our direction here. Second storm system off the west coast, and that's going to be giving us the potential for some more chances of showers and maybe some thunderstorms into the next couple of days. So we'll be watching that. But here's the way it looks like for right now. It's going to stay dry probably until about Thursday night. So temperatures into around tomorrow, chilly back in the mid-40s. Clouds coming and going. Temperatures in the high 60s to lower 70s for tomorrow afternoon. Not quite as chilly on Thursday morning, but that's where we start to see more moisture coming on through from off to the west. Mid to upper 70s. I would say if we get enough sunshine, if there's enough clear skies ahead of this extra moisture and the clouds coming our way, we might see the potential of maybe some 80s out there, depending on how things go. Now, by Friday morning, first part of those systems moves on through, and that is where we could see the potential of some showers and maybe some thunderstorms coming up. That sweeps on through as we go into Friday afternoon and evening, and then that front crosses through into late Friday night, early Saturday morning. Temperatures for lows 40s and 50s, and then we get into the rest of Saturday before that next system comes through for Saturday night into Sunday morning, and that's where we may see the potential of some more scattered showers. Now, we don't see anything in the way of severe weather, and that is definitely good news. There is a possibility of severe weather well back to our west, up around western Missouri, eastern Kansas, and toward green country in Oklahoma. As we go into Wednesday, we do see the potential of severe weather increasing well off this direction. Excuse me, allergies are really kicking me for tonight. Then we get into and around Thursday, and we start to see, again, the scale up here This is where we see the potential of severe weather really starting to increase well back over into parts of the Midwest. In that yellow shaded category, that is again a slight risk category. That's the highest threat we have on this map for now. Hopefully it stays that way, but again, into the next couple of days, farther you go outwards in time, the more things can possibly change. So for right now, for us, we're seeing just a generic possibility of thunderstorms in that pale green color that you see. Severe threat does not even come close to us. If you're traveling Chicago, Columbia, Jefferson City, Missouri, between KC and St. Louis, down toward Fort Smith, Little Rock, Arkansas, Tulsa, and down toward Dallas, that is where we may see the worst of the worst activities when it comes to severe weather. But for right now, nothing indicating that we're going to get anything past about Thursday for us. Matter of fact, it looks like so far things are going to be relatively quiet. Yes, there is the possibility of some thunderstorms. No, it does not appear to be a severe weather threat. So again, we'll keep our eyes on that over the next several days and keep you updated on what may be going on. Here's what it looks like for now. Again, we told you about this yesterday. These special weather statements are issued for a certain period of time to let people know it's not a watch, it's not a warning, it's technically not even an advisory. It is just an opportunity to let people know more about what is happening in regards to a certain event. And for right now, the National Weather Service in Peachtree City, Georgia, which covers parts of central and northern Georgia, this is where we're seeing the worst of the worst activity. Now, this went out of effect at about sunset tonight, but as we're continuing the dry weather for the next few days, until we get a good soaking around here, it's doubtful we're going to continue to see a lessening of the threat of wildfires, which again is what this is issued for. The National Weather Service basically saying that as of right now, if you are in the area of northern Georgia and you have permission to burn, you have legal authority to burn on land, anything going on, that again is you can, not necessarily certain that you should, because again it's going to be anything out there in the way of burning off rough fields that have been used from before, burning off of yard waste, anything like that. It probably is not a good idea to do that because the humidity level is so dry and there's just enough wind to get a wildfire pushed along very easily. So yes, you technically in your area, if it's legal by the city, municipal district, county, whatever, if they say you can, okay, fair enough. But maybe it'd be a good idea to not burn anything until we get some more moisture to guarantee that whatever you do burn does not take off and become a threat to property or life and well-being. So I would highly suspect that the National Weather Service will reissue this special weather statement. Now, whether they bump that up to a red flag alert, little bit interesting to see if that is the case. We'll be watching here at News 12 to see what they say. Peachtree City, Georgia National Weather Service office is just one of the 4 National Weather Service office jurisdictions that cover the News 12 viewing area. Southeast Tennessee, Western North Carolina, Northwest, North Central Georgia, and Northeastern Alabama. So keep it tuned to News 12 and we'll let you know a little bit more about what may be heading our direction. So stay tuned for more on that. Okay, excuse me, man. I'm having issues tonight, unfortunately. All right, in the 7-day forecast, this is what we're looking for right now. Wednesday, sunny skies, very mild, pushing 80 degrees as we go toward the area around Thursday, which is Pi Day. That is the transcendental number that values, that is the relationship of the circumference of a circle divided by its diameter. So 3.14, March 14th, that is Pi Day. If you'd like to celebrate, we'll have more on that coming up a little bit later on, so stay tuned for more there. In the meantime, and excuse me for doing this. Oh, I do beg your pardon. That was necessary but ugly, and I'm sorry to be that rude. Again, chances of showers and thunderstorms I think will be coming our direction Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. although I think the best chance of thunderstorms will be Friday. Saturday and Sunday, more widespread, scattered, haphazard type of activity. And I think mainly that's going to be Saturday into Sunday from what it looks like for right now. Could that change? Yes. We don't see too much of a problem in the way of heavy rainfall. Outdoor activities, especially for St. Patrick's Day, could be a bit of an issue. And numbers, notice here, we're back close to about 80 degrees as we go into Thursday. As we get closer to next week, Tuesday, the last day of winter, the 19th is technically spring starts at 11:06 p.m. on Tuesday. So technically it's not the last full day of winter. If you want 24 hours, that'll have to be Monday. But spring will start next Wednesday. And believe me, I'm feeling it right now. Again, for this day, it's going to be much, much cooler. Temperatures back in the lower 50s for highs. Could be winter's last gasp around here. Temperatures may be below freezing once again, so we could be seeing some frosty conditions across the area. So I would guess more frost advisories possible into portions of the area. So for right now, I think that is one thing to keep in mind, because I just do not see anything in the way of anything good news where it comes to getting rid of all the frost all the time, at least just yet. If I'm not mistaken, and I have to double check this, I believe that the average last frost date for this area was in fact yesterday. So I'm pretty sure that is the actual case, but let me just double check here real quick. And let's see, I think we're pretty close to that. Let's see, average, okay, median last frost. Yes, okay, median last frost is April the 4th. So we still technically have a few days to go before we get out of the frost season around here. The last freeze takes place around March 24th, so we're relatively close to that, but we've still got some possibly very chilly weather ahead of us. So we do see, again, the potential for more in the way of problems out there with any outdoor planting, so please keep that in mind, and we'll keep you updated as to what might be happening there. But for right now, fairly mild temperatures all the way on through into the next several days from what it looks like out there. Overnight, I think for right now, it is going to be a bit on the brisk side, to say the least. And I think for the time being, we're going to be seeing some pretty chilly numbers back in the lower to mid 40s. Ignore the date. That's not supposed to be that way. Unfortunately, we had some issues with our timing up there. Don't forget about Chip Chapin's forecast. He'll be on again coming up tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. And you're going to need that jacket, but it looks like skies will be clearing out, and we shouldn't see too much of a major problem where it comes to rain anytime soon. So again, good news there. I think that's it for tonight. We're going to go ahead and end this a little bit on the early side because, fortunately for right now, we don't have a lot to talk about. So I think it's going to be a very beautiful couple of days coming up. But I do think that you're going to have to get ready for some more rainfall coming our direction as we head into the end of the week. Apologies for not being on YouTube again tonight. We'll get those problems. We've got some camera issues now to figure out, and we'll get online with that at some point in time. So we'll get that taken care of relatively soon. Apologies on Twitch. The date should have been March 12th. So unfortunately, I had to get that taken care of on there, and that should do it. I promise one of these days I'll get organized enough to get everything lined up so you can see it with no problem on there. Questions, concerns, ideas, anything you want to see more of, anything you want to see less of, please let us know at wdef.com. You can contact us through the website. If you're on Twitch, the email address right down toward the bottom of your screen. You can see right below there. Anybody on Facebook, again, you can reach me through the website at wdef.com/weather, and be glad to see more about what you like about this. We'd love to keep you tuning in for more, so definitely want to let us know more about that. Again, Chip Chapin has your forecast bright and early tomorrow morning. I'll hopefully be back tomorrow with a little bit more antihistamine so that I don't get quite as sneezy for tonight. Again, apologies for that. Live and direct from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee at the WDEF News 12 studios. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. This has been the Tuesday night edition of News 12's exclusive video weather blog, Weather Overtime. We'll have more on News 12 tonight with Kay Blevins on the news desk, Rick Nyman on sports, and of course tune in tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for News 12 Chip Chapman's forecast early on the peak of the week, Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again coming up on Wednesday evening.